Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 257 of the Seal Podcast. I am your host for this evening, today, Neil, and that may give you a little hint that somebody's not here. He's not here, Fraser's not here, but joining me tonight is Dave.
Hello.
How you doing?
Well, somebody's got to turn up.
Yeah,
Not Fraser.
he's got work shit going on, apparently.
Oh, God.
What was that, all that adult business called work?
Oh, I'm done with adulting this week.
Tell me about it. I've done it. The last month has killed my adulting enthusiasm. Not that I ever had any, really, to be honest. But there we go.
Yes. Yep. But no, yes. You're right.
Yeah. Usual. Looking at my levels, thinking I'm too loud again. There we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully that sorted that out. Arnie's in the chat.
Oh.
Says hello. He says big podcast money, still working a second job. We got paid this week.
Yes.
It's the first time for a while, so that may give you a hint that we don't earn a lot of money. So there is a threshold to reach for payments from Twitch. So
There is.
we got paid. Not a lot, but your Prime subs and paid subs for you insane people are most welcome, obviously. We're quite happy with the free subs. You don't need to give us real money.
I got to check if I need to re-up my...
Oh God, I could maybe need to do that as well. I don't know. It feels like it's been a while. But anyway, let's not talk about that nonsense. We're both here, and as is tradition, we have to talk about football first. Get that shit out of the way. I assume Arnie's turned up because the football was all right.
Yeah.
His team did all right. His real team did all right, and his fantasy team did okay, I think. Yeah, it was okay. Right. So, we have a new leader, a new older leader. David Kinsit has returned to the top of the league for the first time in a while, I believe. He got the top score of the week, 90 points. And he's moved up to 1,344 points overall. So pretty fucking good.
Yes.
I think he actually could have done better because he had some points on the bench. Yeah, he had some decent points on the bench as well. You can see that. Morgan Rogers and Chris Wood on the bench. Could have done better than Luis Diaz and Mo Salah, among others. Mo Salah stinking the place up. If only I hadn't captained Mo Salah last week. There we go. My tale of woe. Former leader Luciano, he's down in second. He's not far behind. It's only 5 points in it. He got 81 points. Did pretty well. Gorby won. Lewis is in third still, unfortunately. He got 73, which is the same as me. He's on 1,334 points, and I'm only on 1,243 points. So a bit of a catching up to do, which is difficult when you get the same score as them. And Joel is down in fourth, stayed fourth, 65 points. So I've caught him up. And Nathan is down to fifth. He only got 63. Christian had a stinker, 50 points. I say stinker. Did anyone else we know get any around 50 points? Dave, you got 44, Dave.
I got 44. I captained Salah as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Morsey got 53. So, yeah, you two are letting the side down, let's be honest. Although, at one point, with about 12 minutes left of the... I don't know, whatever it was, 15 minutes left of the Manchester United game last night. It was looking pretty ropey for me as well. And then my boy Ahmed Diallo stepped up, scored a hat-trick in 12 minutes. I was like, thank fuck.
Oh, did you have him on your team?
Yeah. I brought him in, got rid of Alex Iwobi, who'd scored 2 the other day. Got rid of him, and he was on like 15 points or whatever, and I was kicking myself like bollocks. I can't believe I got rid of him, and he's actually scored a load of points. And Ahmed was sitting there all night long. I was like, come on. And then finally, he banged in a hat-trick. And I was like, get in! 20 points!
How the hell do you I don't know. I wouldn't have looked at him like, well, yeah.
He's cheap and he's been doing all right. He's the only Man United player worth having, I think.
He is putting in solid 90 minutes on most of his games, I'm looking, so...
Yeah. He's probably one of the best performers. Yeah, I see Arnie had him as well, so he was probably like kicking around, sulking at half time. He says he calls the hat trick at half time. Well, he had more faith in Man United than I did at half time, that's for sure. It was looking bad. But that's what you do when you're a fan, isn't it? You're insane for your team. My wife, I've got to mention, she was second top scorer on the week. She got 89 points. So,
wow.
Yeah, she was top scorer, joint top scorer. So I don't know where Kinzik got his extra point from. They were both on 89, and all of a sudden he got 90. So things do change over like night and things like that. They do change who's got on bonus points and things like that. So it could have been one of those. Because I had 8 points for Anthony Robinson at one point on my bench, and then the next day he was on 7 points. He still came in and gave me those points because one of my players has been recalled to Chelsea, so he didn't play for Crystal Palace, which could have been I don't know. If he played for Palace, he probably would have got a clean sheet and maybe he would have scored a goal. Who knows? But in the end, didn't matter for me. But yeah, Trevor Chalobah, if you had him for Palace, thinking he was going to be good for Palace, he's now at Chelsea. So who fucking knows what's going to happen there? He might not even play.
He might not even, yeah.
So that's enough of the main league. Elusive Man still continues to be doing very well. He got 87 points. He's been someone else played their wild card. I can't remember now. Might have been. Was it Elusive Man? Did he play his wild card? No, it was Andy Cox. I think played his wild card, and I'm sure somebody else did as well. Oh, it was Kinzit. Kinzit played his wild card. So good wild card work, Mr. Kinzit. Well done. First week at least. He didn't put Haaland in. I noticed. Haaland stuffed me for tomorrow. Oh, Arnie's played his wild card for tomorrow. He's catching, spreading. Where's Moores in the league? He's 28th. Stayed 28th. He is 300 points off top, which is pretty impressive. On to the head-to-head. Mr. Kinzit is top in the head-to-head. There's no change in the top 8 positions in terms of where they are sitting in position-wise, but I lost my fixture last week to my wife. Great. She is still joint second, effectively. They're split. Second and third are split only by points scored in the main game. You see my cursor? You can't see my cursor on the screen.
Can't see your cursor.
I was hovering over the scores, but you can't see that one. And you can't actually see the total points either. I fucking sorted to change that bloody thing. Yeah. Everything keeps moving, I swear. It's annoying. So, yes, Kinzit's top 48. Luciano and Lua on 42. Mr. Estevez is fourth on 40 points. Mr. Barkley and his son, both the Barkleys, are on 39 points. Elusive Man up there, 38. Me, 34, with Andy Cox and Gary DeFelice up into the 34-point bracket. Joining me on 34. The boys. Oh, I'm just trying to scroll down. I'm on the wrong screen. Adam is on 33 with Mark Allport. Mike Redmond, who's invaded the UK for the weekend, I have seen. He is on these shores, so watch out, everybody. There's an extra Yank in the country. Probably going to cause some trouble somewhere. Yes. And I think it looks like Fraser lost his fixture again. He is still only 5 points adrift, though, because you must have lost your fixture. You're both sucking it big time, has to be said, in the head-to-head.
Yes.
Right. Any big scores in the head-to-head scores? There's a bit. Morsey had Kinzit. He had his nemesis absolutely crushed him by 41 points. Couple of close ones. Yeah, it was a 2-point game. Andy Cox beat the average by 2 points. Oof. At least he won. And then Luch beat Kev by 2.
Yeah,
there was a big one. Look, Pilch Reed, he let the side. He was giving it the big one the other weeks, calling someone out for doing shit, getting a very low score. And there he is. Second lowest score of the week.
35 points. Wow. Yeah.
Mr. giving it the big one. There's a few in the 30s. Don't know what happened to their team this week. Well, there we go. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, I guess. Something like that. That's enough football. I haven't done my blog yet. For those who read the blog, the 2 people that is maybe, other than me. I ain't done it yet, so I've got to do that tonight. Maybe I've got to do it before the next lot of fixtures kick off, probably, which is tomorrow, as we record.
Yes.
11 a.m. Saturday deadline, GMT. So get your shit sorted out and get that done. Have a look at the team news probably before you make transfers, because Cole Palmer saying he's injured. I reckon he'll play though.
They'll put him on anyway.
Don't count me on it. Don't count on me on it. But, don't put your mortgage on it or anything. But it sounds like bullshit to me. Well, they're not playing till Monday, so
right.
I'm pretty sure he didn't train the last couple of days. So apparently, like, poor him. Probably would have had one of those days off anyway.
Check the social medias and see if he's out on the piss. Or...
Well, yeah. He's not Marcus Rashford. He ain't going to be around for much longer anyway. He's off to where is it? Is it Italy or Spain? I can't remember. Someone wants him.
I don't think they can get rid of him quick enough, to be honest. I don't think they're had enough of him.
I think it feels like he needs to get out of Manchester for his own good. But there we go. Not that he's being chased by the mafia or anything, but yeah. Well, not that I know
of. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's enjoying the socialite.
Yeah. In Manchester? I've never been to Manchester.
You know, it's a brilliant town actually.
Yeah.
It's good nightlife.
I'll take your word for it. I suppose we're supposed to talk about some other stuff now before we get onto video games.
We didn't do a shout out, did we? So we haven't got any listener stuff.
No, I didn't put any calls out to anywhere. And we did have a comment on the Discord from the aforementioned Pilch Reed. He was basically taking the piss out of me. So,
Oh, right.
When he said he was listening to Chinny on the show, and he says,
yes.
And he said something along the lines of, "You both know you've been to the soft play, if you remember that." And when I assume that was about getting sick. His immediate thought was, unless the Buzzard soft play has a bar, I've never been there. Well, that's a bit rude, isn't
it? Right.
You'd put a bar in a soft play. You put soft plays in pubs, maybe, but you wouldn't put a bar in the soft play.
Well,
I've definitely been to a pub that had a soft play area.
There's a pub quite close to me.
It was a foodie pub though, and that was when they were really little.
The one that's near me used to be a drinking one. Got turned into a foodie one, but there was still a drinky bit aspect to it. There wasn't any there wasn't a pool table, but and it's basically like
there's trouble when the skids around pool tables.
And but it was like just one door between the soft play and the place where you'd stand and have beer. So it's brilliant. And you could, it was like a glass door, so you could just like stick.
Did it have a lock on it?
Yeah. No. But they knew that people were just going to go there and have a drink, and so yeah, that's good.
Don't have to worry so much about that these days. Unless we get grandkids.
Yeah.
That can wait as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully my kids as well. Right, we've got a couple of things to chat about. Should we talk about Switch 2 quickly here? Did you watch it? Did you watch the reveals of Switch 2?
No.
You're not seeing anything? We probably won't bother talking about it.
I kind of knew. I like just from hearing news and stuff. I knew that something, and lots of people have been talking about it, but I didn't realise there was actually an official.
Oh, yeah, there was lots of leaks. It's called Switch 2, yeah.
It's called Switch 2. Okay, right.
It's better than Wii U, though. Let's be honest. Could have called it Switch U. That would have been shit. If it just wouldn't have sold and no one had bought it and been confused.
They learnt the mistake and calling the successor of
have
a
they ever had a 2 of anything? They haven't ever had a 2, have
they?
No.
Like the NES and the Super NES.
Yeah.
You kind of understood that the
Super could have called it a Super Switch, couldn't they, though?
Well, yeah. That's a...
Switch 2 sounds a bit shit, honestly. It does look like a nice bit of kit, though. It does look like... The hardware looks like a nice improvement on the original design.
Yeah.
See.
So the Switch is so it's now sort of commonplace across people of the age range who are gaming. People understand what a Switch is.
Mm.
I think that's what I couldn't do with the Wii and the Wii U. They just couldn't sell the Wii U because people didn't understand what it is, what
The
it
Wii
was.
U. Well, the thing is, the Wii was massive. The Wii was
Well,
more popular
yeah.
than the Switch, was it? It sold well over 100 million. It was insane.
I think at the time it was, but the Switch is outsold it now, I believe. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what happened with the Wii U.
Is it backwards compatible? Can you
Apparently, but there is a little asterisk saying not all Switch games will be working on the Switch too.
Right.
Oh, great. Let's see how that works out when it comes out. So
Yeah.
that suggests a little bit of change in architecture potentially inside, I guess.
I wonder if it's like Nintendo games will be backwards compatible, but games that are not developed or
maybe.
developers that aren't like just can't write a
Maybe
couple of lines of code.
Yeah, they might need a bit of work to make it work. So potentially, but who will see? We'll find out around the April time, I guess, because that's when all of the events are planned for, and they're doing hands-on events. You can apply to join. Whatever. I don't think it's exclusive to press. I don't know. I didn't bother looking.
Do we have any numbers on?
There's nothing about
gigaflop.
No, we don't have any of that shit. They literally just showed the hardware, and there was a Mario Kart game playing. So I'm guessing we're getting a new Mario Kart. So you can't have that on your predictions, Dave. Oh, we should probably mention that we're going to do predictions next week when the three of us are back together, because that
was my prediction last year.
Yeah.
New Mario.
We can't have that now.
Damn it.
I assumed it had to happen last year as well, which obviously was already out.
Yeah.
So these rules, stickler are for the rules. I am, honestly. So
but
anyway.
No, I like the idea of that. I like a handheld.
Yeah.
The Switch didn't really get much use of me and my family. Yeah, my daughter was on the Xbox and PC like quite soon after it, and just I don't know, just mobile gaming didn't fit into her lifestyle. So
yeah, well, I don't know. Switch is weird. Like it gets played a lot in sort of bursts, I guess.
Right.
And if we go on holiday, we'll take it with us. Easy to take on holiday, isn't it? And hopefully you can plug it into the TV and all that shit. And if not, you can all just sit there on a tiny little screen and play Mario Kart on a tinier screen.
Yeah. Saying that, we're playing. I tell you what, we were doing at Christmas. We were playing Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U at my my sister's house.
So someone did buy a Wii U.
Yeah. Well, they got it cheap. They got it cheap.
I imagine they did.
Yeah. That's great. It's literally just the Mario Kart thing. It's plugged into the telly. One of them has the actual Wii U console pad, and we've all got the actual proper controllers. I don't know what they're called.
Well, there was Wiimotes that worked.
Yeah,
with the Wii U,
it was plugged into a Wiimote, but it was actually a proper controller.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite good setup.
Apart from having a dangly bit on the end, the big hefty Wiimote dangling from your controller. Yeah, because do you remember when Wiimotes used to cause damage to people's houses?
Oh, for God's sake, yeah.
Pictures of TVs with
Wiimotes the videos as well, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they had. I think they had to roll out and give everybody like I don't know, little condoms for the controllers because like people saying they were too slippy. And
you had a strap that you were supposed to attach to your wrist.
Yeah.
Did that come with it initially? I feel like it must.
I think it did, but they still had to give everybody these little. I think you had to either go into a store or.
I don't think we ever got the Johnnies for their own Switch. That's fucking Wii. Not sure what happened to my old Wii. Feel like I shouldn't have got rid of it. But there we go. Feel like I did. I don't know. Probably flogged it for about tenner.
Mine went on eBay. I think it did. But I had it like a year or two, and I just didn't play it much. I was well into the Wii U Sports, but that was about it.
Yeah. We had a balance board and everything we did for our Wii.
Did you?
Yeah, that was shit.
Oh, you could have like rigged it up to play fucking Elden Ring or something. That
Probably.
hooked
I'm
up
sure.
to your
Well, did you
PC.
see? I posted a video the other day that awesome games done quick. Someone was doing the boss rush battle, whatever. There's like a playlist that they do for awesome games done quick. You have to beat certain
Right.
bosses in a certain time. He was playing it with like an electronic saxophone that he'd rigged up to do controls with, and it depended on what note he played, made the character do different things. He had a few actual buttons. I think he only had one button that actually did anything.
Right.
Otherwise, it was just the tone you were playing on the fucking saxophone.
Oh wow.
It was
Okay.
mental. And he
I
did
bet
it.
it sounded
It's just
shit.
smashed. I didn't listen to it. I had it on to mute, but I watched it and I was like, watched a bit of it. I was like, that's fucking mental. He beat one of the bosses in about 10 seconds. I was like, that's mental. I can't remember which one it was. The first one I played, it was just like well quick. I was like, that's insane. Well, there you go. Hopefully they raised a lot of money for charity anyway. It's all for charity, isn't it? Awesome Games Done Quick. I don't know, all for charity. They definitely raise money for charity.
Yes.
Speaking of charities, there's a load of stuff going on gaming wise for this LA Fires business. I've seen rumblings of. I know that Giant Bomb or someone's been doing a load of streaming, raising money in the States, and Giant Bomb have been restreaming it, kind of thing. And there's a bundle coming, I think, to Itch at some point. You can purchase. So people are looking for donations of games to a bundle that you can buy, and then the proceeds will go to the LA Fires charity, whatever. I don't know which one specifically. There we go.
I was gonna say, is it games that are like completely inappropriate?
I hope not.
Like Firewatch and
What's that? Kill It with Fire. Yeah. I bet that's not on there. Yeah. There's a game you have to. Is it just spiders that you have to kill with fire? I feel like that's the game. I don't know if it's just that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I've just remembered something else then for this week. I need to sort of mention. Anyway, that was the Switch 2 bullshit that we just talked about. We've had our say. Fraser wasn't here to have his chip in with his 2 pence worth, but there we go. Maybe I'll have something to add next week.
Opinion.
Or not. It was Andy Cox that put the video in the Discord that made me actually watch that. I was like, oh, that actually looks quite a nice little upgrade. It looks, I guessed, right. I'm going to continue the Switch 2 conversation for a little while. Because there was like a little bit of a reveal of the hardware, basically. And they sort of showed the original and then they showed the replacement parts for the new one. And it looks like it might be a bit bigger to me because like they snapped off the old controller and it kind of morphed into a new one, which was definitely taller than the old one.
Yeah,
so I was like, I guess that looks like it's a bit bigger than the old one then.
Because the other ones were flush. It was basically like you slotted into a.
But when it's all put together, because they sort of snap on with magnets now, the side bits.
Right.
It looks. God.
Hopefully you can lock them in place.
Well, I don't know.
Imagine you're playing a game. Fuck.
Are they the magnets that they use to like put the security tags in? Like clothing at supermarkets and everything, because they're fucking bastards to get out. Yeah, apparently it's magnetic. I don't know how it's going to work. But when it's all together on the video, at least, I was like, actually looks like a real nice piece of kit. Like not Steam Deck, obviously, because it hasn't got any touchpads, but it does look a bit bigger, a bit beefier, and it's looks like it might have analog triggers on it, from what I could see. So that'd be nice. For that sort of stuff. But yeah, it does look nice. Anyway. And what they've done is they've got rid of the silly colours on the sides. I'm assuming there's going to be silly colours.
The thing is, the console actually knew what colour it was as well.
Yeah, well, what is now is in the bit that you snap off, it's blue one side and red the other side. Inside the bits that you snap off.
Oh, they'll have funny colours on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to get silly colours. But it does look... Yeah. It does look... I was watching the video and I was like, this reminds me of like an Apple video. So yeah, I feel like they've sort of grown up Switch, but we'll see. But yeah, for the second time, I feel like that's enough Switch conversation. Unless you've got anything else to say.
No.
Okay. So what have we been doing, Dave? You got anything? Been up to anything exciting this week? I see something intriguing in here.
Yeah, I bought a new PC.
Who for?
Well, well, for everybody, for everyone.
What is it in the lounge?
No. I bought a little Dell. I think it's SFF, so small form factor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is with a Intel 9500, 16 gig, a terabyte SSD, and it's just sitting on the side at the moment. Just
Not plugged into anything.
it's plugged into the network and it's plugged into power. I can remote onto
Has it got a screen?
Nope.
Okay.
And well, I've set up a Satisfactory server. So I've messed about that. I've set up a Factorio server. I've set up a Minecraft server. There's a few other like servers that I'm sort of playing about
Can they
with,
all
and
run
I'm mainly just
simultaneously then?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
fancy.
I'm not sure how it's going to work or if it's going to work any good when there's multiple people connected to multiple servers. I don't know. But I've set it all up. They're not actually running at the moment, but I've gone through the process and I've installed Docker. So I'm running what am I running? I'm running a Minecraft and a Factorio server from within Docker. So Docker is a sort of a self-packaged app, part within the computer, so nobody can get. So it's basically completely separate from the computer, but those things are hosted online. The Satisfactory I've installed through Steam CMD, which is basically a command line prompt version of Steam, running the Satisfactory server there. I know that works, and I've put my save on there and jumped onto that, so that's good. The Minecraft and the Factor I'm going to mess about at the weekend to make sure that is working. But yeah, just new little PC. I thought like I
Has it
like
got a
the
graphics
idea
card
of
in it?
no. No, there's an integrated. I think it's a Intel 6300.
So does it not need a graphics card to run a server with all this stuff?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't actually output any graphics.
Does it create the world?
I think it
I don't quite
does.
know how it all works. It's
Yeah.
confusing.
But it basically keeps everything synchronized that people playing between the two computers. So like I don't think it generates any graphics whatsoever. It just has like the instance and the synchronization of players, parts and everything else that's interactable.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've had fun this week messing about with that and installing that and swearing a little bit because it's so annoying some of the bits. I can see why people rent the servers and basically these companies that do it have like a sort of a graphical HTML page of how you manage it and all the different variables and stuff. And I'm sure I could do that with my setup. That there's like very clever people that have set up like graphical interfaces for managing the servers and stuff, but I've not got to the point where I've found out how to install it, or if it is installed, I don't know how to access it. Yeah. But yeah, just messing about. Just thought I had some money through work because it was my birthday. They give us a bit of money on Amazon.
Nice.
I had a bit of money from
all that Twitch money
birthday.
I sent you, which I haven't sent you, by the way.
yeah. But birthday and Christmas and this PC was only, so it was supposed to be 180 odd because it was a refurbed one.
Oh wow, that's super cheap.
Yeah, and literally I spent 20 quid,
Real cash.
like cash. Yeah.
Okay.
Like with all the sort of gift money, Amazon gift cards and stuff. So I thought for that, fuck it, brilliant.
Why not?
Yeah, and when it's idle, when it's just sitting there doing nothing, it runs at about 20 watts. It's nothing.
It's the money bag, see? 20 watts. You can just afford to have 20 watts burning away.
That's like 1 or 2 like LED lights. So yeah, it's it does have a.
Is that still running the servers then? Well, it's not running the servers while it's doing that then. Is that where
so
like
So when there's nobody connected to the servers, it doesn't run.
They kind of just
They're just
go
suspended.
They go.
Yeah, they're not actually. You can set
You
it
could
to
make a
run.
movie about the characters trapped in the server when it goes to idle.
You can set some of them to always run, so that the time does tick by, and that would run. The computer would be sort of rolling the instance of that. But I've just, like with a normal game, I've just set it to when no one's connected, pause it, and when it's paused, the whole server instance is paused, and it just doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
Mm.
This is all
Yeah.
way above my pay grade.
So
And
when
I get
another
paid nothing,
another game,
so.
yeah, when another game that everybody is hot for, I should be able to just spin
Spin
an
it up.
instance up on my spare. Yeah,
Fancy.
yeah. Mm.
If you had some friends,
Yeah.
that play the same game as
That's
you.
it. Yeah, that's it. I just need friends now. Yeah, I did do a little shout out about Satisfactory. Like literally nobody responded. I was like, well, okay.
I haven't
This
got
is not a-
Satisfactory. So.
No. No.
And
No. I'm just waiting for everybody to go, actually, this is a really good game.
it does
and I'll
look
be
like
nah,
it.
I'm bored
I
of
heard
it now.
on the next Lander, I think it was. Well, Vinny on there, I think he plays a lot of Satisfactory. It says it's just it's great, but I don't have room in my life for Satisfactory right now. That is for sure. Because
I barely don't either. But
I looked at the sale on the PlayStation today, and I was like, I could buy a Resident Evil 4 for £17, but when the fuck am I going to play it? Because I've got about literally 100 games I could be playing. No, I didn't buy it yet. I think it runs out at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
But I was like, I could get it somewhere else. It's only slightly more expensive on Green Man Gaming on PC. But there's the remake trilogy is available for sale for £41 something on PlayStation. So you get 2, 3, and 4 for 40 quid. The remakes. That's pretty good value. But I have played 2. And 3's not that good, supposedly. But 4 is supposed to be very good. But I could just buy 4. Anyway, I'm not going to do it.
Resident Evil 4 CD keys, 12 quid.
Yeah, I'm not buying CD keys, anything. I'll get told off by Morsey. Podcast Dad will be on me.
Yeah.
Well, I've got not a new PC, but I've got an old PC that I want to talk about with you. Because I'm going to give my old... Well, my son had my old PC for quite a while.
Yeah.
And now he's got a new PC, obviously. So we're going to give his and my old PC to one of his friends who is PC-less. So I'm like, what do I need to do before I give my PC to somebody else? It's got a 256 gig M2 SSD with Windows on, a few bits on bobs on.
Yeah.
That's fairly straightforward. There's the hard drive, which has had all sorts of crap on it over time. Do I need to manually go in and wipe that hard drive? Or if I just go for the factory reset Windows, is that going to do all of that shit for me?
I think you get an option when you do the factory reset Windows that it says which drive do you want to wipe, and you'll have the option of doing.
So I can just get Windows to do all the work for me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If not, just I don't know, just find it in the my computer, the
drive. I'd like to just be able to get
format.
Yeah, I could do it. I want this to be as easy as possible for me.
You will need to do a proper Windows factory reset anyway, because you will have all your hot
document files,
online,
profiles and all that
OneDrive
bullshit.
And
exactly. I want all that removed. I know Windows reset that's an option, but I'm like, is that going to get rid of?
Just do a factory reset.
The whole fucking shebang for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I read something and it was like, if you're really concerned about whatever's on your hard drive, you can get this thing called DBAN, and it's like it'll just national security level fucking wipe your hard drive
Yeah.
clean. But I don't know how long it will take.
You can get the same effect with just a large magnet, like an
Yeah, but
old
then
speaker
basically the
magnet.
thing would be useless afterwards.
It's wiped.
Yeah. Well, I want it to be usable when they get it, rather than completely dead. So
Just whip the additional hard drive out and go, there you go, 256.
that's not a lot of space, is it? We know that. We know that it's not. No, it's
Uh,
not enough space for anything.
that's, you know,
You can get
how
Windows,
big's the...
and that's it.
Maybe with single player card. Maybe.
Oh no, absolutely no chance.
So, eh, oh my god, like I dread like the idea of giving any my old stuff away because I know I'm going to be IT support forever. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that.
it's not updating, or how can I create a Word document? It's like, yeah, you haven't got Office, you need to buy it. So like I'm like I can just see the the
Who are you
ongoing
giving these things
support.
to? Who are you planning on giving it? Like
Just
some people who are like really
anybody.
old who doesn't have a clue what Google is. Yeah, my son's been messing up his Football Manager install this week by installing fucking tons of mods and then going, the game's running really shit now. I'm like, yeah, because you've installed about fucking 20 gigabytes of mods. I don't know if they're compatible with each other or anything. I don't know what you've been doing. I was like, you need to uninstall the game and get rid of all the mods and then reinstall it and see if it works all right. So he uninstalled the game and then, yeah, it still runs shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, you better not put a fucking virus on there. And then he's like going, what's that then? I'm like, oh, shouldn't have fucking said anything.
My nephew put a fucking virus on my mum's computer. Trying to put a Minecraft mod. No, Minecraft texture pack.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Unofficial. That's how they get these kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he saw somebody on TikTok or something.
This is all fucking.
advertising it.
Adam watches a YouTube video of some guy like, do this, go to this website, download this, and then get WinRAR this shit out into your this direction. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, going to System 32 and.
To be fair, I have to look at the ones he's done. I'm like, they look all right, to be honest. So I just think, I don't know.
You just don't know, though. You
just
don't
need to have a look.
But like, if it's just on a shitty his computer that's literally nothing's on, brilliant. It's just on, like when it's on like critical infrastructure computer of a business. It's like, yeah.
If you just leaked all of your information to everybody. Yeah, the Chinese know everything, and your company's worth 2p.
So I had words. It's like, do not ever let anybody touch his PC unless you know what's going on. But he wanted to play something. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds fairly straightforward for what I need to do. I need to just go fucking plug it into a monitor and find a mouse for it and all that shit. And I'm like, ugh.
Well, that's the thing. I got suckered in from my sister over Christmas, saying, "Oh, her son wants a new gaming monitor because it was hooked up to a TV, his PC." I was like, "Okay, yeah." Like, looked at a few models, and it was a pretty big 28-inch monitor. Looks okay, decent price. He's not doing 4K, so 1080p is fine. Got it. Oh, does it have speakers in? It's like, no, computer monitors don't have speakers in unless it's specifically one that has speakers in. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll sort him a headset, and I was like, oh God, I got pulled into this fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, we could have the headset. He does have a headset already, but that's on his PlayStation, but it doesn't work. It's not compatible with his PC. Okay, right. So, and then like,
now you're not in the market for
I was
a
just
new
like,
headset.
fuck it. I've got like some speakers like with a 3.5 jack that will go into his computer, and he can have the fucking sound out of these speakers, and
I just want
two little
to
desk speakers.
start getting rid of some of the stuff I've like there's 3 desktop PCs in my house that are doing nothing. So we're getting rid of one of them. So that's the benefit from my point. It's like I just got to wipe that thing.
You could set up
Set
a
up
Plex
server.
server on one.
No.
You could set up a
No. One of them, my previous PC, obviously the case is fucked. The power switch was fucked on the old case.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, that means taking all of the motherboard out and moving it into a new case or buying a new case. And I'm like, it's better than the one that I'm giving away, but I don't have all that bollocks. I don't have physical aggro. I forgot as far as what I did do with this one is take the side wall off, reversed one of the fans so it's pushing in rather than pushing it out, and then gave it a massive blast of like with the dust blaster.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still got some dust in it. I'm like, that's clean enough. I just got to do the
it's not brand spanking new, is it?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Not sure the graphics card color RGB stuff doesn't seem to work properly. So I'm like, I know I'm going to turn it on and start tinkering and going, oh, that's not working properly. But I don't really want to do it. I just want to fucking wipe it, give it, leave it.
Yeah. I went up into the loft about a couple of what was it now? In the week, like Monday, Tuesday. And I realised that I've still got my motherboard, CPU, RAM, and a graphics card from my old computer that this is after I bought this other one. I've got all those, but I kept the case, but like bought all new components, put it into case because I liked it.
So you've just got all the bits and bobs.
I got all my bits and bobs, and I'm like, I bet I could have just set up the server on that really, because it's all
just
the bits
bought a case. But you could have spent 180 quid on a case.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, or just run it fucking bare metal.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I'm hearing nowadays people are doing they're not even putting like stuff in a case anymore. Having like an open air PC because it's like better for cooling, obviously. So all the heat just dissipates out rather than like it was in a box.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might look at that. I might just see if I can just get I don't know.
You can get ones that you can stick on the wall. Like you can like put your motherboard on the wall and then have all the bits like exploded out on the wall.
Yeah. I like the idea of that. I'll have to have a look.
Modern arts, that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got something else on there.
I've been watching a TV series this week. It's on Apple Plus, called Shrinking, with Harrison Ford.
Yes.
And Jason Segel.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
Not Steven Seagal.
Not Steven. No, his twin brother.
Twin. I'm not sure about that. I think a completely unrelated person. Steven Seagal. That's a podcast all on its own, I think.
Shrinking, season 2. It's 12 episodes long. They're only about half hour or so. They're very easy to get through. Fucking amazing series.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, Jason is a shrink. He's a I don't know what's called.
Psychologist, is it?
Yeah, psychologist. He has
Not
patients.
Psychotherapist.
A therapist. But he is a broken man.
So is he going to see another shrink?
So he works in in a group, and he speaks to other people when they try and give him help. But he has good days and bad days.
Don't we all?
But it's a really good series. It's really good. Me and the missus watch it. We smashed through it in a day, 2 or 3 days.
Was this while working from home or something?
Oh, it's an evening. I'd say they're
How long did you have all this time? Did you just not sleep?
Well, when episodes are like half hour long, you're like, I can watch one. And then like 3 or 4 hours later,
you've watched the whole series.
Oh shit, we've like smashed through like half of the series already. Yeah. And they're so easy to watch. Yeah.
My son started watching Squid Game earlier. The
Oh,
first
season
one.
2.
No, the first
The
one.
first
He
one.
hasn't watched the
Oh.
second one. He's never watched it. He says, "Oh, I'm watching it." I'm like, he says to me, he's like, "When's this going to get started then?" Because there's like obviously a bit of a build up to the actual games. Like I was like, "Yeah, you've got to watch all of this stuff." I was like, obviously, like you see him go out for dinner with his daughter and everything, and all that with the fucking losing all his money and everything. So I said to him, I was like, because obviously he's got his GCSEs this year. So I said, "So why is he entering the Squid Games, Anna?" He was like, to win his daughter back. I was like, okay, I guess that's probably right. Or that's what he thinks anyway. But yeah, so it's like I've got to quiz him on everything because of his like GCSEs coming up. Like, what's the message here? Because like some of the things he's got to do about, like he's not studying Squid Game obviously, but he's studying Christmas Carol, and Inspector Calls, and something else. There's 3 things they've got to know basically.
Right.
And there's always a question in the exam like, what's the message that Dickens is trying to portray or convey through the Christmas Carol? So he needs to have all of
Being
that
a
ready
dick is
to
wrong.
recall. Yeah. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Well, Squid Game is basically like the end of capitalism, or the extreme end of capitalism, shall I say? In that the only
incredibly
way...
rich people would pay small people to do just to entertain them.
Incredibly rich people, basically, the vast amount of money they have, it's a drop in the ocean to absolutely fuck with hundreds of people's lives with the promise of a tiny fraction of their wealth.
Yeah.
So
doesn't sound familiar at all.
And people in those situations, they're so desperate to not even get out of the situations, just give themselves some relief from the crippling debt that they're willing to put their life on it.
You watched the first episode, and I'm like, spoilers for a first episode ever of Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
But they play the game at the end, towards the end of the first episode, where it's like, what's it called? What's the time? It's a bit like What's the Time, Mr. Wolf in this.
Red light, green light.
Yeah. But it's the same game as What's the Time, Mr. Wolf. Well, sort of something similar. But yeah, obviously, like shitloads of people get fucking completely destroyed, and afterwards they're like, "Oh, you can cancel the games if you want. Everyone just needs to vote." So they have the big vote, and one person decides to. Well, the deciding vote is to cancel the game, isn't it? So everyone has to fuck off. But there's all this like people like, I've got nothing out here. I'm fucking. They've just literally watched hundreds of people be shot to death, and they're like, I'd rather take my chances in here than go back to my shit life that I normally have. It's like, yeah, okay. Things aren't quite that bad working at Tesco's.
Yeah, and it's it's taking advantage of desperate people.
Yeah.
And then, but the funny thing is the whole Squid Game thing has become very profitable. There's like Squid Game theaters and like you can go.
What, you're talking about real life now? Yeah,
in real life,
Mr. Beast is doing real life Squid Game or something, but it's not obviously. No, I don't think he's going to shoot people. Pretty sure he's not going to do that. Yeah, or rig traps up to actually murder people. Yeah, I'm not sure he's doing any of that.
I haven't watched the Mr. Beast thing, but
no, me neither.
I've heard.
Funnily enough,
heard a few things, and like the things. Like one thing that I know about it is like within the first like 30 seconds or 2 minutes or something, he gives away £1 million, and it's like, I've given away the most amount of money in the short amount of time whenever on TV. And it's like,
aren't you fucking great, Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
We'll just massage your ego a little bit more. Yeah. Well, fair play to Mr. Beast. Fuck knows how he did that, but became super wealthy, giving people money to do basically random shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have never watched a Mr. Beast video.
No.
I don't think I ever will, unless I'm forced to. And that's part of some fucking contest to save my life.
I only learned about Mr. Beast was on a pub quiz a couple of months ago.
Wow.
Who's the biggest YouTube or Western YouTube star with amounts of subscribers, and I was like, oh fucking no.
He's got 100 million followers on TikTok, but obviously no one
Yeah.
in America is going to be watching him anymore
No.
after the 19th, whatever, 2 days time.
Yes.
Yeah, because my boy says that he's watched loads of stuff about Squid Game on TikTok. He said, I've seen all of this stuff anyway. I was like, yeah, you haven't seen everything of Squid Game on TikTok. No way. You've seen all of the gory bits, probably.
Yeah.
But the actual bit that means stuff, they won't have put on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's not interesting enough.
I'd like to know next week, like, if he's actually continued to watch it, or like if he's actually just consumed the best bits of Squid Game through like other means.
Yeah.
And sitting down to watch it, it's like, nah.
Oh, when's the good bit coming?
Yeah. Fuck all this story stuff.
Yeah.
Like...
So he did actually say, I was like, I said, you can't just skip it. You have to watch it whole thing, because otherwise it's meaningless.
Is he watching it in
so
English?
He's watched,
or
no, I said I came home and I came in and I was like just putting my stuff away after work, and I was like, I could hear a foreign language thing going on the TV, and I was like, are you watching Squid Game? Because I couldn't see it. And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, right, okay. Good to hear, like they're watching it in like the next. So I said, you can't watch it in English. She's like, yeah. She said, yeah, we started watching it in English, and I was like, and she was like, I can't watch this. It's too fucking weird. So I was like, yeah, you have to watch it in the native language with subtitles.
Yeah.
I never watched it in English. I don't think I even bothered starting it in English. So I was just like, that's going to be fucking too shit. Like, I can't watch stuff in the wrong language. It really fucks with my head. I'd rather watch anything in subtitles.
I think it's like one of the last episodes. There is some people speaking English in it.
Well, yeah, in the beginning of the first episode, I think there's a bit where the guy speaks English, and you're like,
it really messed with yeah, yeah. It's like, what? Like, I know a little bit of Korean, but wow, I understood that really well.
Well, I said to Adam, I was like, did you notice that he spoke actual English there? Like, hint. Anyway, enough about Squid Game. I haven't watched season 2. But apparently Mr. Beast has got nearly 350 million subs on YouTube.
Ooh.
So that's quite a lot, apparently. Still, you know.
At least he hasn't got done for kiddie films.
Is he doing a podcast every Friday? I don't know about that.
No.
Nor are we, to be fair. Do we miss a few? Anyway.
I'm sure if I had the amount of money, or between us we had the amount of money that he did, we could afford to do at least once a week, every week.
Yeah, at least. I mean, if we had unlimited money, we'd just be podcasting all the time, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Only if we had the money from podcasting.
Yeah. We could set up a Patreon.
We could.
And do extra episodes for Patreon subscribers. Because we can't even get a fucking 3 of us together once a week.
Look, somebody's signed up for Patreon. We have to do an episode for them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Sounds like too much aggro. Well, we totally went off the rails there. But there we go. I've got one more thing to talk about that's happened this week.
Go for it.
My son was in hospital for yesterday morning for some checkups, basically. Because he had an anomalous result on one of his blood tests. And so we wanted to go and have a look at him again. So he missed another day of school, effectively.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Well, he's missed quite a lot of school, so I'm a little bit worried about that. But while we were sitting there waiting, having spoken to the doctor and him thinking it's like we think everything's fine, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, we have to be better to be safe than sorry kind of shit. It's like, yeah, fair enough. But while we were sitting there waiting in the paediatric unit, a lady who's like sort of, I guess they have like fun people working in the paediatric unit to sort of keep the kids entertained when, you know, they're not really shit.
So your son is
he's
16,
nearly
17?
Yeah, he's nearly 16.
But, right, so he's pretty much an adult.
Yeah. So, but what they did, like, she came in with this guy, and we were a bit like, what's going on there? And he was like there. He had a little, like, you know where you put like a box look like it's got screws and shit in, like a Stanley box with like you could there's little tabs on the top and then you can lift the lid up. It looked like one of those. He comes in and he's like wearing a lot of black and yellow waistcoat and he had a face mask. I was like, "Fuck's this guy?" Walking in with one of the play nurse things. She goes, "Hi, I'm so and so, so and so, and this is Paul, also known as Colonel Custard." And we were like, "Okay, what the fuck?" And he's a magician, so he's going to do some card tricks with you. And I was like, "Okay." And it was literally just me, my wife, and my son sat there, and he did a load of card tricks with us. And it was fucking, it was really good. I was like, the guy is fucking awesome. He was like a cool guy. Nice and chatty and everything. I guess you have to be if you're going to do that sort of shit for a living. It would definitely help anyway. And he was telling us like all these, like he's going to Vegas or what have you, and all that sort of shit, just sort of with some of his magic friends, and they're all going to do shows and stuff, and he's there to support and stuff like that. So there was that chit chat stuff going on, but he was also doing all these card tricks, and I was just like fucking blown away. But like, he's like, how the fuck did you just do that? There's a couple like. I'm like, he goes off because I was like, when he first turned up, he was like, he put his box down and he said, "Oh, I'm just gonna have to go over here." So I was like, "Oh, here we go." He's starting on the distraction already, and he gave me like that. "Oh yeah, you know what you're fucking talking about." Not that I'm a magician or anything, but I'd literally the other day I'd seen a video or something about all his distractions and stuff like that. So he's like, comes back and he was doing all these card tricks, like the usual, like pick a card, here we go, blah, blah, blah. He got me to shuffle the cards and everything first, give him the back. And then he's like, but the amount of times, like, you just look at it and you're watching his hand so intently. And he's like, you're not even taking your eyes off. And it's like, and he pulls out the card and you're like, or like, he takes a card, one of them, he gets Adam to write his name on it, puts it all on the deck and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, like, he pulls it out eventually, and he goes, "Yeah, there's your card." And then he goes, like, "I'm going to rip it." He rips it all up, puts it down on the fucking table. So, and that's like the Jack of Hearts or whatever. And then he's like, goes through the cards, and then pulls out a Jack of Hearts, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And the one that you sort of, you know, because they always pull out one next to your card sort of thing. So the one that he'd ripped up now was like the one that was next to the fucking card. That was like, what? And then the fucking Jack of Hearts magically reappears and it's fucking fine again. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't understand how this works. It's like I was well impressed. He was well good. So if you ever see Colonel Custard, he was like Dynamo, but in person, in a hospital ward.
In a hospital, doing one-on-one with you.
Yeah, literally the three of us getting a personal magic show. It was really fucking cool. So I was like, that was good. I was
like, the doctor could he's like, fuck off. Like, but you know, Colonel Custard's there.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck off, Colonel Custard's doing his 15th trick here. Yeah, it was well cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
And all the shit we've been through, that one highlight of being in hospital, I was like, oh, that was actually really cool. Random as fuck. Wasn't expecting that at all, but yeah. So I said to him, it's like, "Oh, you're going to be a magician when you're older now, Adam?" All the shit with the old fucking GCSEs this year. You could just be a magician instead. Just have a whole load of learning.
You don't need
stuff
any GCSEs to be a magician, do you?
Just need to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
crippling
that.
Anxiety.
Fuck that.
So, no, it doesn't really help with that, does it? No, cool. No, it sounds good. Like I've seen a few magicians, and yeah,
I've never been that close to one. I have to say, like when you're literally, like literally, he was right next to us, sat right next to us, and I'm like, "How the fuck are you doing that? That's mental."
No, that's cool. No, I've done it a few times, and I can kind of see. A lot of times I can see what's going on. There's sometimes it's like, yeah, that's fucking well good. But a lot of times I can see what they're doing. I'm like, oh. So I actually shut up and I just sort of just let Vic and other friends just like, yeah, play along. That's fine. I'm not going to be the one. Oh, I can see him pocketing it. I don't do it. I'm not that twat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I could be. No, I don't know. Like I say, I was just like, "Oh, are you doing that?" Like, you don't see him ever doing any fucking weird, like he's not talking to you and he's clearly doing something with his hand or any shit like that. It was like, How are you fucking doing that? I'm literally watching your hands the entire time.
No, awesome.
Yeah, well,
Maybe he's
good.
doing it with his feet.
Maybe
With
he
palming
hypnotised
cards,
all of us. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was a highlight of the week. Well, the last couple of months, to be fair, 'cause they've been well shit. So, yeah.
But they're all good, wee boy.
Well, he had a bath tonight and he was itching like fuck afterwards, so that's not good.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the itching.
Right.
It's the just infuriating itching.
All right. Cotton mitts.
Yeah, we've got cotton mitts.
Yeah, right. No, for him.
Yeah,
Not for you.
for him. And
Right.
got cotton. I bought a load of cotton long sleeve tees. Fucking just throwing money at this problem. It ain't helping. It's not working.
Right.
It's like, yeah, frustrating.
Yeah.
But hopefully, eventually, we'll get there.
Talking about itching.
Yeah, making me scratch myself now.
Yeah.
Right, that appears to be everything we've done this week, and
Yes.
football and Switch 2 bullshit. So now it is the time to talk about video games. Do you need to have a break? Or are you ready to go?
I could go for a break, yes.
Okay, we will have a short break, and we'll be back in a moment. I've got to find the right button to press. We'll see you shortly, and welcome back. We are now talking about video games. Dave, you got 4.
I've got yes.
Server?
I've been playing some more Mech Warrior Online Legends.
How's that going for you?
Poorly.
Oh,
It is a very technical shooter. It's going alright actually. I'm holding my own. But it's so complex. There's a
have
couple
you
of
not had
people.
lessons from all the experts?
They say words.
They don't mean anything.
Yeah. But to be honest, by the time I normally jump on, I am quite drunk. I just want to run out and do some shooty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whereas these guys have been sort of fine tuning their mechs like for a couple of hours before the first game. Going to the test arena and making sure again heat sinks and like everything work. I just point me at them.
It hasn't gone unnoticed to me that there has been an extremely high volume of it, very nerdy chat going on.
Yeah.
In the Discord.
Yeah. Yep. Talking about lasers and missile boats.
Yeah, and there's been massive long codes put in. I'm like, I don't even know what this means.
Yep. You put that into a different website and those combination of
specs
codes.
out your
specs out. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Extreme nerd content warning.
So they're talking about at the moment. Apparently the meta is having like a fully stacked missile, sort of long missile boat, which is just the long range missiles, but you need to lock onto enemies for them to hit.
You need something to spot the enemies then.
But you need spotters. So like working together, somebody's a spotter, somebody's a little mech with like fully kicked out all the spotting
long range radars and shit
things, yeah. And then you're helping the missile boats just launch missiles from halfway across the map and hopefully
like an artillery barrage.
Yeah, pretty much. Oof. Yeah.
Someone's getting a bit of a paste in there.
So yeah, that's the idea, is that obviously working together, because we're all.
It's not Call of Duty, is it? Let's be honest.
It's not Call of Duty. No.
You're not getting that sort of satisfaction.
It is. Yeah, it's very technical. Fun. It is disappointing that sometimes the waits to get into a game, there's not a huge amount of people playing.
You're shitting me. A game that came out fucking 12 years ago or whatever is not full of people playing.
No. I did see that the developer of MechWarrior Clans.
Yeah, MechWarrior 5 Clans is the latest.
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
they're making layoffs.
Oh.
They didn't do as well as they hoped. Yeah.
Was
so
everyone's playing the game that came out fucking 12 years ago instead?
it's not a lot of people. I just
Say
don't
everyone.
think
I say everyone who's playing a
Yeah.
MechWarrior game.
I don't
Is
think there's.
MechWarrior related to that Steel Battalion game that came out on the Xbox that had a ridiculous controller?
I think Steel Battalion was based on.
Was that part of MechWarrior?
I don't think it was part of it.
Mm.
There was a lot of lore around this stuff. There's even more like board games and stuff based
Well,
around
that's
this
what
stuff,
it was, a
but
board game, wasn't it? It came from a board game, isn't it?
Was
like
that
the BattleTech? Was that not board games and stuff before? Or
Maybe.
tabletop games, tabletop type?
Yeah, tabletop games, yeah. I still think it's very popular there, but yeah, the actual video games themselves are not
They're
not
bit
doing
niche.
so well.
Bit niche.
Bit niche. Like the most niche thing you can
I
get.
think there's probably more niche things that we don't want to talk about on here, that's for sure. But I don't know what any of those are.
We're talking
because they're so niche.
hentai games.
No, are we? I think even more niche than that, probably.
Oh right, okay.
Everyone knows what a hentai game is, don't they? What get your waifus out?
Are we talking like real life chopper simulator?
I don't know. No, I wasn't talking about anything. I was like, there must be more niche things than MechWarrior online. Is all I was thinking. But no one we know is playing that kind of shit that we know of.
Why?
Yeah, whatever that kind of shit is.
Yeah, it's still a good game. Yeah, there's a few problems with it. Sometimes there's a wait to get into games. Understandable. There is still lots of live service. Best way to say it. It's like missions and things that you can earn rewards.
It's a free to play game, isn't it? So they've got.
Yeah.
Are they still trying to make money off of this? I guess.
Yes, you still have to buy mech bays. So if you want to increase your if you want to increase the amount of mechs that you actually can own by using there's about 4 different currencies. You can buy one of the currencies to assist with buying either mechs or parts or mech base, so you can actually have another mech in your arsenal, or cosmetics. But yeah, there's a lot. It's
complicated.
Yeah, it's still a good game. But when you one of the problem is when you do actually start losing as a team, it's 12v12. When you do start losing, it's you've if you go 2 or 3 mechs down, barely ever recover from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of firepower. If you go a couple down, even pretty early, you just can't. You can't compete. You can't recover from it. So, but you can still do well. And each battle you're ranked, and you get a ranking at the end, depending on like how much damage you've done, how much you took before being taken out, spotting, various different things on that. So, yeah, it's the old saying, like if your actual ranking is good, but even if complete fucking like washout, if you got a good ranking, it was a good match for you. So,
yeah, it's not all about getting kills, is it? Just increasing your rank or whatever of something or other.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's MechWarrior Online Legends.
Okie dokie. Right.
Come and join us if you want to try it out, or if you're playing and you want to join us. We're on Discord most nights.
Send Dave a message, not me.
Send me a message. No.
I'm going to talk about a game that came out this week. In early access. It is a driving game. It is the sequel to Assetto Corsa. It's called Assetto Corsa Evo.
Oh, okay. I saw that was out on early access.
Yes, it's at 0.1.1, so it's super early access.
Oh
It's
wow.
available for like
0.1.1.
30 quid, is it? I think you get is the cost of entry. Uh, and I bought my key from Green Man Gaming, not CD Keys, a legit reseller of keys,
Right.
Green Man
Okay.
Gaming.
Yes.
It's 33% off there at the moment.
Okay.
So it was 20 something pounds that I paid. And it's pretty slim on the content at the moment.
How many courses?
I can't remember. I've
Okay. I thought you
literally
were gonna say one. I was like,
no, it's more
shit.
than one. It's more than one. No, there's like
Okay.
it's Brands Hatch. Oh my god! I think the plan is relatively early to have about 12 tracks. Laguna Seca being one of them. There's some classics in there early. So yeah, Brands Hatch GP. I think Brands Hatch Indy will probably be one of them as well. And I can't. Oh, what's this? Mount Panorama is one. That's a bit of a mad track. That's pretty good. Some proper tracks in there to start with, anyway. Good. And the cars. There's 20 cars. Pilch might be happy to see that on the screen there is an Escort Cosworth available from early access. None of this waiting 3 years in Gran Turismo 7 for the Escort Cosworth to appear. And there's.
Did you get a screwdriver to hotwire it with?
No, you can't nick it. But yeah, it's still very early access. I had a few issues getting it to work properly on my controller because I ain't put my wheel. I haven't plugged my wheel in, but it does give me that. Yeah, this would be much better with a wheel feel. Because then I could also turn off the steering wheel animation, which is traditionally, as tradition demands, super shit in Assetto Corsa.
Why?
It's well twitchy. It doesn't look like a real person holding the steering wheel.
I'm watching it
The
on
wheel
screen
moves
now.
weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's the least of it because it feels when you get going pretty fucking good in terms of I'm holding the controller and it actually feels pretty good. You have to be. It's a lot less forgiving than any of the old like Gran Turismo and stuff. Like if you pull when you're steering on your left stick, for example, as I do, if you literally just like pull it all the way to the right, what that tells the game is just yank the steering wheel full right lock. So, which when you're turning a corner, which is not a particularly sharp corner, at high speed, what tends to happen is you just go straight on and it just shreds your tyres and stuff like that. So you have to be very deliberate on the steering controls. It's like proper sim racing.
Right. So it's like proper 1-to-1. Like
yeah, well, obviously, like you can set up in the settings how much the dead zone there is on the fucking controls and all of that. So you can be very deliberate about how it feels to you personally. But you definitely probably when you first load out the game, when I first got into the game, I was sat in the pits as you do when I set a Corsa, and the engine was just like blah 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 off the limit. I was like, "What is going on? I'm not touching any controls," and basically all of my brake and throttle controls were working in reverse. So I had to like pull the brake trigger to let off the brake and pull the accelerator. It was fucked up. Basically, it was working in reverse. So I was like, this is really fucking with my head. So I had to go into the settings for it and then find the appropriate control and inverse the axis, which was clicked as in on to off, and then it worked. So then it would work a bit more like a traditional game where you pull the accelerator, pull the trigger, and it puts more and more accelerator down, etc., etc. So yeah. There's a few like weird techie issues to get into the game to start with, for me personally. But once I was in, I was like, yeah, this feels pretty fucking good. Graphics are pretty good for starting.
They don't look shabby.
No, it looks pretty fucking good so far. Like I say, there's a bit of jank on the interior cockpit view. The steering wheel always looks fucking weird. Like it's just. The hands and wheel are moving like juddery and stuttery, and because it's trying to react 1-to-1 with what you're putting in, so it looks fucked up. um, and there's no multiplayer at the moment.
Oh,
So
that was
it's
going to be my next
pure
one.
single
Is this
player
right? Pure.
and
Okay.
like practice. There's loads. We've got a pretty good roadmap out, so they're telling you exactly when, or what's coming, and hopefully when. But they're hoping by fall 2025, it says the full 1.0 release will be out. So it's going to be a fairly short early access, 9 months maybe.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
8 to 9 months of early access, and then the full game will be out. But you know what happens then? Every time there's an update, I assume the price will just creep up towards proper release price. I don't know how much full price.
I was going
it's
to say,
gonna be.
what's the proper release price?
I don't know. It could be 50 to 60 quid, I guess, by the time it actually releases. And then there'll be 1 or 2 or 3 year content passes after that, I imagine.
I wonder. So you say that. I wonder how many people are buying licenses now, in the hope that when it becomes fully 1.0, they can sell them for 20% off of the full price, but actually still making a profit.
Oh, what? Just buy the key, but don't
Yeah.
claim it. Yeah, I guess you could do that. I haven't done that. I've used them.
No. I know. I just literally
Yeah.
meant like in my
That's
head now.
the entrepreneur in you is creeping out, Dave. It's poking out. I hadn't thought of that. That had even entered my head, which is why I don't have a good job. There we go. I'm not a super businessman. But yeah, so of course at Evo, it's mixed reviews, I believe, on Steam because people are complaining about stuff as usual. Because it's a bit light on content. It's like literally, it's got everything they said there was going to be. Oh, and I'll tell you why people are complaining is the big reason people are complaining is you need to have an online connection to get access to some of the content. So, which is dumb,
Weird.
as it's only a single player variant at the moment.
Yeah.
All the stuff is single player, but honestly, who the fuck is not connected to the internet these days? But the problem is, obviously, if their servers aren't online, then it doesn't. Half the shit don't work. Which I don't know if that is the case. Honestly, it was literally came out yesterday, and people were complaining about being online and all that shit. So okay, we'll see. I mean, I'm willing to get in on the early access and not have to pay 60 quid when it comes out to play it, because I'll probably play it during early access every time there's an update. And yeah, like I say, it looks great. I mean, Assetto Corsa, the original, without mods, looks pretty bland and dated, I think, in terms of like the scenery around the track and stuff like that. But
I think I fired it up once. Maybe I thought it looked pretty shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago. So yeah, definitely.
I mean, that game came out quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, but it was very good on the sim racing part, and like shitloads of mods came out with. You could have all sorts of cars, all sorts of tracks, all sorts of extra stuff on the tracks with mods and stuff like that. But now, yeah, I'm pretty happy so far with how it looks.
Do they have a Wreckfest style stock car?
Not yet.
Ah,
who knows what's going to come? Oh, I'm sure someone will do a mod. Mod support is supposedly going to happen with this game as well. So,
okay,
yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what's there, to be honest. In terms of how it feels, once you get into that, yeah, I'm not playing Gran Turismo headspace. Then yeah, I was doing the Brands Hatch GP in a. I think it was it's not a Fiat 500, it's the Abarth version, so it's a 600 or whatever. 595 Abarth Fiat 500 thing. That was pretty fun. That was quite good fun.
They're brilliant cars. I'd really love to have borrow one. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to keep one. That's for sure.
No.
There's a guy around the corner. You can tell when there's a guy around the corner who's got one, and every time he turns it on, it's like, oof, it sounds pretty meaty, and then you see it and go, doesn't look very meaty, does it?
Someone realises going sideways down the road.
I drove up the hill earlier today, and someone came across the junction in front of me in an MX-5. I was like, I'd quite like an MX-5, I think. Fun car. Completely unpractical. Great.
Yep.
That's what I want, I think.
Yeah, one of my good friends and my brother's got one. They
Yeah.
both love them. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my old mates has got. He bought one just to fuck her and take to the track and fuck around in, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they look pretty nice, and yeah, they're fun. But that's it for me. Assetto Corsa Evo is done for now. You can talk about a game while I get a video up of whatever you're going to talk about. What are you going to talk about?
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard of that game.
My game of the year last year. I'm still playing it. I've even created a little home server to have a self-hosted dedicated server. Although it's not running yet. Yeah, just putting the time in, putting the hours in. I've got a lot further than I've ever got before. Because I did play some of the early access, the I think it's update 6, 7, and 8. But now I'm progressing into I think phase 8. Nearing the end. I'm getting to nuclear. Well, I've got nuclear, but I haven't actually set that up. Yeah. Just navigating around the map, doing a bit of the exploration. I really don't like spiders. And there is an arachnophobic mode that turns the spiders, which is one of the enemies that you find in caves, into cats. And I'm seriously thinking about turning it on because I fucking hate spiders. And
I don't mind spiders in games or anything like that.
the
The
I
only
tell you
time I don't
what,
like spiders is when I'm like, I remember when you was younger, and for some reason, in your mum's back garden, there was a pile of bricks. So you're playing around with this big pile of bricks, and you pick up a brick, and a fucking spider would like scurry around. And be like, oh, it'd make me jump. But I was like,
Right.
oh, it's just a spider. It's fine.
Right, the spiders in this game is fucking clever actually. They actually hide, like when you look at them, they run and hide behind rocks. And then when you turn, they sort of start sort of coming out and then run towards you.
They're like those statues in Doctor Who.
Pretty much, but you can hear them and you can hear the scurrying. And then some of them can jump, not all of them,
Ooh.
some of them. And so you're like, oh, okay, well you know there's spiders there, and that you want to sort of progress past them, but you can hear them. So you're trying to sort of sort of get into a place where you can see them, so they can't fucking run around rocks or anything. And then you get to a point and they fucking jump at you. You're like, you fucking bastard.
That becomes a bit more like face huggers from Aliens territory, I guess.
Well, a little bit, but oh, mate, they're bastards.
I didn't realise there was like enemies as to that sort of extent.
Yes, there is.
Because all the videos you watch, just people fucking around in factories.
Yeah. But I was saying, there is an exploration part of it. There is it's a single map. It's not a generated map. No, it's not a randomly generated map.
Procedurally generated.
Procedurally generated. There's the one map, and everyone uses the one map.
So it's always the same.
It's always the same. But it's curated. I think.
Yeah.
That they've said before is that it's designed in such a way, and each has got its own little biomes, and it's set up in such a way.
Looks very Marsy, the one we're watching at the moment. It's quite
Yep, that's a desert biome. Yep. That's a very early part of the game. It's not even putting floors down.
Fucking loser.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing more of that, progressing. I've recently got to drones. I haven't actually used drones before. Drones used in such a way to transport normally high value goods across large parts of the map. So I've had to set up a battery depot and create batteries for them so they can use the I could talk about it for a long time, but you probably don't want me to. So
I don't mind, Dave. You can talk about whatever you like. But I was just watching a guy like laying out some sort of conveyor belts, and I'm like, it does look quite intuitive. It's just like zipping around doing shit. He's clearly played this game quite a lot. Probably, I don't know if you're probably doing even quicker at doing this shit because you played it so much. But it looks quite intuitive to like I say, it's laying out a conveyor belt, and it's just like made it turn left and right and all that, and it just went ding and just started like
yeah,
it sort of appears, and I'm
just
like, oh,
there's
that's
so
pretty
many
cool.
different tools and like helpful things that it does. It snaps easily, so like if you put splitters in, you can snap them to like be directly in line with what you want to go with the areas that you want to go to. So if it's either other belts or actual smelters or anything like that, and then yeah, you can set the belts up to actually go at right angles as well. This was one of the last updates, is that so you could actually properly have straight and right angled belts instead of going diagonally across and stuff like that. And it just makes it look. Half of this game is making it look nice. Not only
That's
do
the
the factory, but
satisfaction out of it. Yeah,
that's the
that's
satisfaction
the
part of it. Is
satisfaction
that
part. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Making
but
it look nice.
there is things like spaghetti. Spaghetti will happen, and spaghetti being fucking a complete mangled mess of all the different belts like intertwining with each other, and you know,
Can you adjust shit? Like, if it gets to be a mess, can you go, right, I'm not going to tidy that
you
up?
just
Let's
delete
just
it
go.
all, literally. But and also there's a great tool for that. You can actually filter. I think it's G. So you use the delete kit and you highlight one of the things that you want to delete. So say you want to just delete the belts, but you want everything else to stay there. You highlight the belt to delete. Press G, and just go over everything else, and it will only delete the belts. And it's like that's such a brilliant sort of not life hack um, tool um, that is that can save you so much time, and that's a lot with
This
this
is, I
game is
guess,
that
the benefit of early access and gradually building your game with the feedback of people who are
yeah,
playing it
that's
and
it.
go,
And
do you know what would really help is if you did this, and then people go,
yeah,
yeah,
if
we
I
could
can
do that. Let's do that.
just delete the belts or just delete the specific factories or yeah or yeah, 'cause I say there is a lot to this game, but it's you know it's come out as 1.0. I wouldn't be surprised if they do quite a few updates this year. I can see some DLC coming as well.
New
Um,
environments, maybe
maybe yeah, new environments, new enemies. That
new
I think
buildings.
I think what they'll do. I don't think they'll want to change anything that's already in there because people have put
Yeah,
thousands of hours into this game. Um, and I think they'll be worried about breaking anyone's like factories with what's there at the moment. So whether additions to the map or yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure how they will have to do a sort of a tightrope um, changes and so that
you
nothing
just create new areas and make things only work in those new areas. I
right.
guess is an easy way
Yeah,
to make sure that nothing fucks up in the old
yeah.
areas.
But how then like how does like the existing factory how does that integrate with the new areas and stuff? So yeah, um, it'll be good then. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna finish this game. I'm gonna finish.
It didn't. It just never finished this game, Dave. It doesn't finish.
There is a point. There is a
Shut up.
finishing
It
point.
never ends. Once you finish it, it's
There-
not finished.
there is a story finishing point in that you complete the milestones that is set by you, set to you. Basically, you send in stuff up to space, and I think again a lot of these games I have to set my own stopping point because yeah, you're right, there is no stopping point. My stopping point will be I'll complete the milestones and I'll get to the story ending
Then you'll just carry on
of the game.
playing.
Yeah, you could, and I'm sure lots of people do. Um,
Most of them
But,
called Dave.
yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Well, it does look good. Of all of those games, this is the one I'd buy, I think. If I was to get tempted. Like I said earlier, too many games. Still haven't started Cyberpunk or The Witcher 3, which came out fucking nearly 10 years ago. Right. I'll do a game. I'll talk about Indiana Jones a bit. Not loads. So I've been playing Indiana Jones. I'm still in the same area I was when we talked about it last week. Which I don't know. I shouldn't say really what it is, but I just keep getting sidetracked and doing all of the. I did a thing in this latest level, and I was like, it didn't tell me to go to this place. I was just, you're in a boat in an area basically, and you're tracking around this boat, and there's an objective point that you're heading to, but on the way, there's other things, and I'm like, I was like, I'll just stop here and have a look around, little nosy, and there were some fascists there.
Oh, not the
and
fascists.
You know what you should do with fascists?
Punch them in the face.
Don't make friends with them. Fuck them up is what you should do with fascists.
Okay.
So you go over there, and for a little bit, what I did was, it was like a little section of this area. And you know what? I haven't really shot any guns, and it's not really Indiana Jonesy. But I'm going to pick up this fucking machine gun, and I'm just going to murder fucking people. So I went a bit Nathan Drake and just fucking started killing people with guns. But there wasn't loads of people. But like, you kill one of them, and all of their fascist friends come over and go, "Oi, you've killed my fascist friend, so I'm going to come and fucking kill you." And you're like, "Okay, well, I'm going to fucking kill you." So yeah, I shot loads of people, and it does feel like a shooter when you do that. Like, apart from the fact when you shoot people in the head, they don't instantly die. It's like, I literally shot you in the head, and you're not dead. But yeah, maybe Indiana Jones is not very good at shooting people in the head. It just looks like he shot them in the head, but he didn't really. But some of the some of the guns are definitely a lot more powerful. There's a rifle gun that if you shoot someone in the head, they fucking dead. I haven't really used Indy's revolver other than to bonk people on the head with the butt. And yeah, so I killed a shitload of fascists. And then I mooched around this area, found a little place to go down, went down there and went into this weird fucking trippy, like, what the fuck is going on section of the game. I was like, I didn't tell me to go here. It's like, is this part of the game it does tell you to go at some point? I don't know. I just went off down this little hole, found a load of shit, went on a weird, trippy, completely batshit crazy adventure. I was like, wow, that was fucking not what I expected to happen. And then just went back onto the main critical path and started doing some of the missions again. I was just like, oh, that was fucking a bit weird and completely unexpected. Like I say, it may be at a later point in the game, after doing the sort of the main quest part, it says, go and do this bit, which I've already done. I don't know. But it was just some random piece of the map that I found. I was like, I found a little point in the wall I could creep under. I was like, I was trying to jump over this wall. I was like, I can't get over the wall. And then I looked over to the right. I was like, oh, there's a little hole in the wall under there. And I just crawled under it. And then I was in this whole fucking weird bit of completely optional content as far as I know. So, yeah, game's fucking huge. Loads of shit to do, which is all fun. Especially punching fascists in the face. Which never gets old. Ask Buzz Aldrin. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Maybe.
He's still alive.
Still punching fascists, hopefully. Yeah. Didn't really walk on the moon. Oh, that's why he punched a fascist. Anyway. Yeah, Indiana Jones was on my game of top 5 last week. And I haven't found a reason to take it off yet. So things are looking good. But I still feel like there's a fair bit of work to do in terms of getting that game done.
Where do you think you are
I have no idea.
Right.
No idea how much more game there is to do. Like I say, I did the start off in the Vatican, then you go to Egypt, then there's a bit sort of you go through, which is quite small, which is in between the second and third, effectively, regions. But that bit in between was really cool. Everything's been really fucking good. So, yeah. I think it's very good. And, yeah. I'm going to have to go and punch some fascists later, probably. So I need to get my 15 minutes of gameplay done on the Game Pass quests.
Oh, right, okay.
But that's not the only reason I'm playing this. It's just a handy coincidence that happens while I'm playing this. But yeah, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You should check it out if you've got Game Pass.
Check it in.
Even if you haven't, maybe you should buy it. I don't know. Not if you've got a PlayStation, obviously, because that doesn't work.
It's very highly recommended across the board.
Mm.
This Indiana Jones game business.
Mm. Who knew it would work? It did.
I know. It was a bit left field for everybody, really. It was like, oh fucking hell, not.
This person, what the fuck are they doing? Turns out they knew exactly what they were doing. So
yeah.
Over to you. What you got?
I've got two games, but I'm going to talk about the first one very quickly. Factorio.
Okay.
Boot it up. Got 2 hours in. It's like, I've got another
did
game.
You start
I'm doing
all over
this
again?
No. I carried on from my old save.
This is the one that's had. This is the space update, is it?
This
Factorio?
is the space age.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm in space.
Space.
But yeah, I booted it up. I don't know. It's because I was messing about with the server. Getting a dedicated server for it.
Right.
And I booted it up. I was like, oh yeah, okay, it works. Right, fine. And then like, not only was I just dead testing the dedicated server that I'd set up, I was actually playing, and I was like, what am I doing?
I'll be here at 3 o'clock in the morning before you know it.
So no, like, oh god, I'm definitely burnt out of fucking mic then. So yeah, it was put down, save it, put it down.
Yeah.
Like, I can't play this now.
Behave.
Yeah, fucking hell. So, yeah, there's that one, and then the other game I'm going to talk about is Coffee Golf. I've picked that back up. It has. Yeah, I think I started playing it just over Christmas. Still posting times to Discord. With a couple of other people. I did miss a day this month.
I've been playing this every day, but I just don't post my scores. Today was definitely a you can get fucked day.
I got a top 5% on mine.
Yeah, well done to you, because today was like I had a fucking I was just like, fuck off. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Did you pay the upgrade to do redo the?
I've got my son on it now though. He keeps seeing me playing. He's like, "What are you playing there?" I was like, "Coffee Golf." He's like, so he started. He goes, "Oh, I could do the course again." I was like, "Yeah, not for long, mate." He's like, "Oh, I don't mind watching a video. I'll watch these videos." He was playing one of the fucking advert games for about 20 minutes. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Gone are the days where you could just shut down the device or force quit the application and start again.
Yeah.
He remembers. He remembers now.
Knows everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. I've had a few good scores in the last month or two, but like today, because there was the fucking. I was like, I got 22 in the end today. I was like something else.
Things I like 22.
Yeah, because I was just like I say, there's about 4 or 5. I just was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fucking launching it into the water. Raging at fucking Coffee Golf. This is not the idea.
It's supposed to be relaxing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like posting my score, and I do a little blurb with it as well.
Yeah.
Just a line or two, just a brief explanation. Things
Look,
I don't
what
think
you're missing if you're not on the
reads it.
Discord.
No, nobody reads it before they play their holes, and then like you can see, either they've gone a different way or yeah.
This is so annoying sometimes. When the ball just like goes, "Wee, it's going in." Oh no, it's just fucking missed. You're like, you fucking bastard. Like a massive, like for your hole in one, and it just like
I
doesn't
don't mind that.
looks like it's going in, and it just stops, and you're like, what?
It's when it bounces off a rock or a tree in a random direction. Well, it's not in a random direction. You're actually trying to hit it off that obstacle, but because the aim reticle is it's a fuzzy, like it
A
doesn't
big
go.
circle.
It's a big circle, but it's you know
But the smack in
roughly
the
where
middle
it's
of
gonna
that
go.
is basically where it's going to land. It's just like
Yeah, but that is a bit
most
fuzzy.
of the time. Yeah, it's annoying.
That's like either
Have you launched one like with a driver straight into the hole? No bounces, just gone fucking straight in the hole.
No,
I've done that a few times. It's like
Yeah.
when that happens,
Oh.
you're like, yes.
See, I always pull it back a little bit. I think if
Yeah.
it's not,
Ooh,
yeah, like, I think if it doesn't roll in, it might like bounce very close to and stop in near it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's ones where you've got to go over like a huge bit of water, and the green is just like tiny, and you're like, well, the only
Yes.
way this is going in is if I literally it goes straight in the hole, or you like have to take two at minimum of 3 shots. Like you put one in the water, land on the lily pad, and then the third one goes in.
See, I actually aim before it, then hit the lily pad, then chip it in from there. I always do it. I'm like, never like even if it does bounce, you're gonna bounce it like way past it, and it's gonna be a really hard shot to get in.
Yes, but one of the today's it was like I pulled it back, and it would like towards where it's supposed to go, and it would hit a tree or hit a rock or something right in front of it, and then ping off to the left. I was like, oh, it's okay, I'll just do that again, and it'll go straight onto the lily pad. No, it fucking didn't, did it? It kept fucking going somewhere else. I was like, what the fuck?
That's it.
I swear I just did exactly the same thing, and it pings off somewhere.
It's slightly fuzzy. The aiming is, it's not bang on. It's a little bit either way.
I raged at coffee golf today. It wasn't a comfy 15-minute coffee break today.
That's it. That's it for me.
Yeah, fair play. I'm still playing it. I don't really play any other games on my phone.
No.
Right, I've got 2 more games to talk about. The first one I'm going to talk about is on the PlayStation 5, and some people really like this game. It's called Astrobot. I quite like this game. It's good. It didn't make my top 5 because I haven't finished it, but I hadn't finished Indiana Jones either. But it's great. It's a very good game. It's not 100% my game, but
okay. A lot of people had a lot of love for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of PlayStation nostalgia attached, I think. But as a 3D platformer, even if you don't really like PlayStation, it's very good. There's lots of cool mechanics. I've had some new stuff. There's always new things. And then there's sometimes there's stuff you've done in terms of you always pick up, not always, but you generally pick up like an extra ability versus what you normally carry. So like the one on the screen at the minute, you've got these weird like telescopic punching gloves effectively, but as well as punching things like enemies and doors, you can grab on to certain things. Yeah, well, there's no fascists in Astrobot that I'm aware of. It's a bit too cutesy for fascists. They haven't got an Indiana Jones section or Wolfenstein because they're Xbox properties, not PlayStation. But yeah, there's just always got loads of new mechanics. And what I've been trying to do is make sure every level I do is find all of the bots, preferably the first time through, because it's not so good that I want to just keep playing the same level over and over and over and over again to get everything. If I don't get all the bots the first time round, I'm like, probably just move on to the next one. There's probably a fucking platinum trophy available if you get all of them. And it depends how close I am after finishing the game, whether I can be asked to go back and do that. But it is very good if you like 3D platformers, for sure. And if you're a PlayStation fanboy or girl, then you probably really fucking love it. And yeah, PlayStation's been around in my life for quite a long time. I wouldn't describe myself as a fanboy.
Enthusiast.
I like games, and I like good
Yes.
games, and I've liked a lot of PlayStation games, and games that you probably associate with PlayStation, even though they're not technically PlayStation only games, like Resident Evil, for example. I would say that class is almost as a PlayStation game, even though it's not technically. But yeah, Astro. I'm not sure there's a. Actually, there are Resident Evil Astrobots as well, so in the game. So like the ones you collect, sometimes they're just standard bots, and sometimes they're themed. Like Crash Bandicoot's just been on screen. If you're watching, he's technically an Xbox owned chap now. But yeah, yeah, it's Activision, isn't it? But yeah, for sure, he was definitely a PlayStation character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
It's weird you saying he's a. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but at the time it was a PlayStation.
I mean, it was a PlayStation for sure. It was a PlayStation game, but yeah. Now it wasn't. Well, it wasn't made by PlayStation. Obviously, it was made by Activision. Hence the reason it's now an Xbox game, effectively. I think it's available. I don't know if they're. Yeah, but there's just tons of cool mechanics. Keeps bringing in new stuff and keeping you interested and infuriated with how shit you are at doing certain things or not. Yeah. So very high quality, but it's up to you whether you really love it or not. Maybe in a few weeks' time it'll be my game of the year 2025. Who knows? But I hadn't played enough of it for me to be putting it on my top 5 for last year. But it is very good. Oops, I pressed the wrong button.
Good.
And I have one more game, which I think could be on my list for next year. Because it's very good and very hard. And makes me think a lot and makes me write things in a piece of paper, which not many games do. The game is called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It is basically a puzzle game with shitloads of different types of puzzles. And a pretty fucking weird and occasionally incredibly weird story that goes along with it. It's.
Are you putting a video on, or?
I'm trying. I'll get one that's like playing the gameplay. Sorry, I'm trying. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's monochrome, effectively, largely. Visually, it's all black and white and various grayscale in between, and a little bit of red or pink colours in it. But like I say, I've got 3 or 4 pages written down in a notepad.
Oh, right, you got okay. Yeah.
Like a puzzle to help me solve puzzles. There's things like but everything I've written down is also stored in the game. But for some, I don't know, I've written some stuff down, even though I know I can literally go into a menu and recall the information that I have written down somewhere in my long list of. Because whenever you read shit or whatever, find stuff in the game, it puts it into your memories in the game in a menu. So you can always go back and look at everything you've ever found. And the puzzles that you find that are yet to be completed are also added like to a to-do list. So everything you fucking experience in the game is there, either in a memory list to recall information from, or like a jobs to-do list, like what was I supposed to be doing again? You go to the little, I can't remember what it's called, that section of the menu, and it'll say unlock this door, or speak to such and such a person, or whatever it is. I've got 13 pages or something in the game of things that I've that are on my to-do list. A lot of them I've done, but there's
Right.
still loads of others that I ain't done. Like unlocking loads of doors, and you find a door and there's like some weird puzzle, and you're like, I have no fucking idea how to do that. But then you play some other parts of the game, and you'll find the information, and it'll be like, that's to do with that thing that I haven't done for like fucking 2 hours, or 3 days, or 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes you to play through the game. But there's tons of different like puzzle types in the game for me. Like, there's a lot of just you put in codes in keypads and numbers on padlocks or what have you, but there's a load of different ways the information is portrayed to you to solve those puzzles.
Okay.
So this is like a top tier puzzle game for me.
I was going to say it doesn't look like a new type of game.
Well, it was like when Chinny was on, he was saying it looks a bit Resident Evil original. Like, it's like I said, yeah, you are looking at like stationary camera, and when you're traversing the level, like it's like it'll pick a camera angle and you'll walk around that area. It's not tank controls.
Yeah.
Although, spoilers, there is a bit that a weird fucking trippy area you go into, and it literally has fucking tank controls like a fucking old Resident Evil game. So you're having to turn right and turn left to fucking move forward and shit like that. And also, it does have that. It callbacks to like older games, but yeah, it's fucking a pretty weird story going on. I'm not sure I really understand half the shit that's going on half the time. I've definitely Googled things in the real world to solve puzzles and stuff like that.
Oh.
But it's difficult. I'm always a bit dubious, like sometimes, because when you like, if something in the game relates to something real, you're like, is that a real thing? Like, or it references something, and I'm like, that sounds like a real thing. But if I search for it, if you search for it with like the title of the game, it's literally just going to bring you an FAQ up, and you're going to fucking have to see the answer and all that sort of shit. I don't really want to do that, so I haven't tried to Google too much stuff. But there's a couple of references to certain things. I'm like, what's that? And I look it up. And oh right, that's what that is. Okay, because I'm a bit thick. But yeah. Fucking well impressed with this game.
That's what I like about my games, making me feel thick.
No, but when you solve the puzzles, you're like, there's the one puzzle that's driving me nuts. I'm like, there's a clock, and it's got like signs of the zodiac around the very exterior, and then there's like 4 hands which are attached to a ring in the middle, and each ring has got like what would appear to be a year written in Roman numerals. But I'm like, right. I have not found anything yet that makes me go, oh yeah, that's what that is. Like anywhere else in the game so far.
Right,
like, to give me that salute, like to go where each ring, like I say, which is a year. I can't remember. I'm not going to read off the years. But they're like, you know, like when you used to watch like a BBC programme at the end of the thing, it used to say MCM LLX blah blah blah, which would be the year in fucking Roman numerals.
Yeah,
that's what it is. There's all these different 4 rings with those written on the ring, and then as you turn them around, a hand will point to a different sign of the zodiac, and I'm like, I've not found anything yet that goes, that's what that's for. But there's been other times when I've been like, you'll go to an area of the game and it'll be like you go into some weird sort of almost like a cutscene, but it's an interactive, and then someone will be asking you questions, and I'm like, shit, I've seen that, but now I can't remember what it is. So I'm gonna have to leave this conversation and then fucking find all that where I found all the information, write it all down so it's ready to me to recall. Just go bang bang bang. They ask you a load of questions, and I'm gonna have the answers ready. Because there's definitely points in the game where like you can die in the game effectively. Like there's a point where the guy's pointing a gun at you. If you answer this question wrong, I'm going to fucking shoot you. You're like,
okay.
I don't actually know the answer to that. Please give me some more time to find the answer. And you can usually so far you can back out and go, I don't know the answer to that, and back out and like go back to it later when you can. Like I say, when I go back to a menu, write down the information I require, and then can go back to it and get through that test. But yeah, it's fucking not really like anything else I've played, I guess. There's no combat or anything like that. There's been no Oh, there's been some. Yeah, it's fucking weird. There's so much stuff going on in this game.
Ugh.
It's so good. Not enough people have played
What's
this
it
game.
called?
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. So
Okay.
Lorelei is spelled Lorelei.
Is that a Steam jobby?
It's on Steam. It's on, I believe it's on PlayStation and Switch as well. I don't think it's on Xbox. But yeah. Well, if you like a puzzle game and a lot of thinking and puzzle solving, cryptic crosswords, all that sort of shit, if you love all that stuff, I think you might like this game. And you should probably check it out. I don't think there's a demo, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, very fucking good. Is that it? Is that all games? I think that's all games.
I think that's all games.
Right then. So yeah, hopefully Mr. Moores will be back next week and he's not too busy. And hopefully he'll edit the show soon.
Well, we recorded it this time, so
Yeah, we've made it relatively easy for him. And hopefully those who are watching on YouTube or Twitch won't be getting me extremely loud for a large portion of the show before someone points out that no one else can't hear anyone else. That hopefully is sorted out. And yeah, I guess thanks for listening. Dave, you want to take us out of here?
yeah. I'd like to say thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask questions and get involved, please contact us on a web form, which is our website, which is sealpodcast.com. You can also contact us via email, which is sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter, Blue Sky, Acast, YouTube, which is @SealPodcast and @SealPodcast, and we have a YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to. And did we have any chatters today?
Just Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Arnold.
A lonely Arnold in the chat. So thank you for joining and chatting.
But yeah, that's the show. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, good to catch up. Yeah, like I say, hopefully we'll all be back to the three of us next week, and hopefully that means predictions time next week.
Yeah. If anyone's got their own predictions,
yeah,
let us know via the aforementioned ways to contact us.
No one's allowed to copy anyone, by the way. If, however, obviously, if someone brings in the same prediction, it's going to be difficult to say that you didn't just copy them.
Well,
so hopefully no one just sends in one that I've already done. And hopefully none of the ones I've already done happen in the next week. So that would be really shit.
But yeah. There you go.
So yeah, I have thoughts as well.
Ooh.
Thoughts about something else we could potentially do for the year.
Okay.
Called, I don't know, it's Fantasy Metacritic. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's like a bit like a prediction. You pick so many games each.
Yeah.
You've only one person's allowed to have each game.
Okay.
And whoever gets the most points on Metacritic wins, effectively.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So that was a thought. I've heard other people doing it. So
we could do 3 games.
Yeah.
And a film.
Ooh. Okay. That would definitely require research for me. I have no idea what's coming out.
No, I don't think any of us does.
No.
So that's my
I'm not picking the latest Bridget Jones film though.
Critically acclaimed Bridget Jones and a fucking baby or something.
I think she did that one already. I don't know what it's called this time.
2 fucking babies.
Did she have that? Bridget Jones has only had another fucking baby.
Yeah. Put something together. I like the idea.
Yeah.
We'll have to,
I feel like it's fairly straightforward. I don't know how we can get everyone involved. Like, I don't think it'll be too hard to get loads of people involved in that. If you're only allowed one person to have each thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll have to speak offline. Sort that out. See if
Definitely.
we do that next week or the week after.
Sounds good.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening or watching or what have you. Join the Discord, as Dave said. And we'll catch you next week.
Brilliant. Thanks. Bye.
See ya.